Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next day on our meander through March Madness. I'm Laura Serrant, and I'm an inclusive practice specialist and a leadership development coach. And we're moving through March. We've only got one more day in March left, and we are thinking about and sharing ideas, musings, and a few thoughts from my 40 years of work. Speaking to you as business owners, as leaders, and as human beings, part of our society, I'm using the alphabet to help frame some of our discussion, and we have reached the letter X. Now, X was a difficult one, and it took me a while to kind of work out what did I want to say about this particular letter. And then it came to me. The letter X for me stands for Xenophile. Now, you may not be familiar with that word, but unlike its much more used xenophobia, a xenophile is somebody who is attracted and interested in things that are different to themselves, foreign things, things that are not part of their culture or even their experience. And that can include things such as places, styles, people, countries, and customs. And I would say I'm definitely a xenophile. In my 40 years of work, I have travelled across the globe. I've worked nationally and internationally, so here in the UK and elsewhere. And the most important thing for me, the thing that I have benefited from most, is actually the ability to understand, to recognise, and to share with other people ideas, thoughts, their experiences, and to try to understand and experience their culture and their beliefs. Now, the world is fabulously diverse. We live in a kaleidoscope world which actually mirrors and adds to all our learning and all our experiences. And when we work in our teams, or we work in our communities, or even in our own families, we see the bigger, larger planet multiplied and reflected there. We might look the same, we might have the same belief system, but the strength of human beings is in their diversity. It's in what makes us different and what makes us the same. As a xenophile, someone who is interested, I'm interested in you, I'm interested in me, and I'm interested in how we communicate and we link together. So xenophilia actually recognises the differences between us and sees that as a great strength that we all have and we can all share. It expands our ability and our opportunity to learn about the world. It allows us to travel. It allows us to travel sometimes even without leaving the space we're in. We are fortunate in the 21st century to be blessed with the internet, which people may say can be a force for bad. But I would say what the internet gifts us is a glimpse of worlds and spaces that we may never have the opportunity to travel to physically. As I have mentioned earlier on in our meander through March, our bodies are restricted. They may be restricted by geography, by age, by ability, by health. But our minds themselves are infinite. And through the support and the power of the internet, we are able to travel to many, many planets, many, many worlds, many, many places, and experience the diversity and the fabulous kaleidoscope of our nation and our planet. But when we learn about other places, other customs, other thoughts and other ideas, what do we do with that once we have it? That's the most important thing for us as leaders, as business owners, and as human beings. Because when we learn more about others, when we recognise the range of things that are different to ourselves, it's how we celebrate that that makes a real difference. Stephen Covey said that strength lies in our differences, far from weakening us as an individual, as a group, as a community, or as a family. The differences we have gives us even more access to resources, to opportunities, to ideas that may stretch us, challenge us, but always give us hope for something different, something better, something more to strive to. Maya Angelou says that in diversity, in recognising and celebrating the difference between us, there is beauty and there is strength. There is nothing so beautiful as to see the variety and the range of this planet in nature, in people, in ideas, in customs, and in all of us. Xenophile actually challenges us to learn and experience all that we can and to actually see how that helps us step towards the wonderful, diverse person that we are supposed to be. Audre Lorde talks about the way in which we sometimes fear difference, and it makes us want to shrink away from things or people who are different to ourselves. But actually she reminds us that there lies the challenge for us as human beings and as a society. Because it's not the differences that we have that actually divide us, but sometimes our inability or our unwillingness to recognise, to understand, to accept and to celebrate those differences. That is what weakens us as a human race. The ability to see difference as challenge and difference as less than. But if we embrace the difference, if we find a way to recognise difference but debate our differences without fracturing ourselves, our teams, our communities, or even our world, thereby lies the opportunity for growth. So, I'll leave you with the letter X and Xenophile, a letter which challenges us to stretch ourselves just a little bit beyond what we know and into the possibility of learning something new. I'll see you tomorrow.